This is my audience. There's proof. I got one more. Okay. I'll hand it off to Angela. So, how many of you enjoy going out to eat at a restaurant? Today, I want to talk to you about how important it is to tip your server. Servers survive off of their tips and what they make. It's how they make a living. So, first, I'm going to talk to y'all about the minimum or the salary the servers in Texas make. Then I'll discuss how servers make their customers experience a good one. Then I'll talk a little bit about the struggles we have to go through every day, and then finally the proper way of tipping. First, we're going to discuss the salary of a server in Texas. Servers in Texas make $2.13 an hour, which is also the federal minimum wage, according to bbc.com.
Oh, show the checks.
Right there is the $2.15 minimum wage, or $2.15 is what we get paid an hour here where I work. With our tips, it is expected to make what we make as minimum wage to $7.25 an hour. At the end of the week, when we get our paychecks, there is usually nothing on it. It all goes to taxes. So servers pay 8 to 10% of the total taxes we get, or 8 to 10% of the customer's total ticket is what they can take from taxes. And that is from howstuffworks.com. So if you're one of those individuals who doesn't tip the server, you're causing them to lose money because they're having to pay taxes based on how much your meal costs. There are many restaurants that do not compensate if their waiters or waitresses make under minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour. So our $2.13 an hour plus our tips, which would make minimum wage. So let's say if it's a slow night, we work a 5-hour shift and we make $20 because we only have a few tables. So pretty much we definitely do not make minimum wage for that day. So pretty much, sorry, but you gotta try again the next day. So as servers, we have to tip too. We tip out busboys, sometimes bartenders, server, or other hostesses, cooks. So we also have to tip out. So we still don't even get to keep our money throughout the night, from the night. So according to Noji.com, servers tip out a certain percentage to other staff. So busboys and hostesses usually get about 20% of the tips that we make that night. Servers only make $2.13 an hour, paychecks aren't much, and some nights we pretty much make nothing, and we still need to tip out. So we go home with not a lot of money. So next I'll talk about how servers actually work for their money and how they make your experience good as a customer. Your server does everything for you except cooking your food. But there are some exceptions to that because some people actually do that too. We get your drinks, take your food order, get your food, bring it to you, make sure you're satisfied, and we take care of your check when you're ready to pay. So, even on a holiday such as Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, all of us work also. Sometimes we don't get the luxury of getting off on those holidays, getting to spend it with our families like you do. So while we're working, you get to come and eat. We try to make it as pleasant as possible for you and your family to eat. As servers, we do as much as we can to make you happy, even if that means giving up our family time to make yours better with your family. Now we'll talk about what we deal with on a daily basis, yet still keeping a smile on our faces as much as we can. So one thing we can't avoid is kids. We usually try to give our tables away that have a lot of kids. So they're always spilling stuff, screaming their heads off, making a mess. So, picture of kids screaming their head off. This is what we have to deal with on a daily basis, especially during summertime when kids aren't happy. So, and with them running around, it's very hazardous for themselves and others, according to Reading.com. They can run into people, make them spill food, having other customers a nightmare while they're trying to eat also. Having to deal with a few rude customers definitely makes our days living nightmares also. believe me when I say we'll remember your face and who you are if you come in and you're rude to us, screaming at us, saying everything's our fault. So none of us want to wait on you when you come in, so you'll probably have a bad experience. During the summer especially, we have to deal with crazy drunk people. Usually that leads to having to deal with sexual comments that come out of their mouths. So especially for women waitresses, you got to deal with that. But if it gets out of hand, we usually get it under control and we have a win. Servers have to deal with so many irritating things on a daily basis, yet no matter what kind of mood we are in, we always have to keep a smile on our faces. Finally, we have to talk about the proper way to tip. Many places automatically add an 18% gratuity to parties of 6 or more people, but you can always feel free to add more if you'd like. And according to the OdysseyOnline.com, all servers who work in the service industry are not making careers out of it. This job usually will help them with college expenses, bills, and other costs of living. This is a little tipping statistics of all the different service industries. So it breaks it down to what percentage people cost or people tip you. Leaving a 10% tip is telling the server that they weren't pleasing at all. 15% gratuity is for good service, and 20% or more is telling the server that they did an excellent job. So you can be the best server possible. Some people will just not tip really at all, if any. So there are different amounts for tipping depending on how the customer's experience was, but it's not always enough. Customers don't make close to minimum wage on their checks, but we love what we do, especially getting to communicate with customers. So getting to see y'all's happy faces, hopefully most of the time, will make our days better, and hopefully we get to make your days good too. Of course, like all jobs, we have daily struggles, but we always have a smile on our faces. I'm sure all of you have gone out to eat before, but how many of you have actually worked in the food industry yourselves? It is very hard work, trust me. Without the correct tipping for servers, then they are not able to make a decent living. They depend on us as customers to help. So let's do the right thing and tip our servers. That is what we need to do. Thank you.
Yay!